All right, welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on the second channel, and I just got back home from Atlanta where I competed in the Atlanta Regional Championships. I ended up going 6-3. Unfortunately, was unable to make day two. 6-3 is like actually still not terrible, at least. Though I did obviously want to make day two, but I of course, as you all probably guessed, did play Golden Go to this tournament. And I really liked my deck. I'll talk about the decision behind the deck in a minute, but I had an insane tournament run. Despite not actually making day two, my tournament was ridiculously unbelievable. I mean, I hit three of literally the top players in the world during this tournament. I hit a couple of local friends during the tournament. Like, it was an insane tournament. Like, all 9 rounds was just crazy. And I definitely wanted to highlight my run, talk about my list, each matchup, how they all went. Because as you can see, I hit some pretty good players in this tournament. And I played a really interesting Golden Go list. Unfortunately, was not able to make day two, which I was pretty confident in my deck, so I'm unfortunate that I didn't get there. We'll talk about why I didn't make day two during each match and stuff that I'll talk about. And if y'all are new here to the second channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We're on the road to 23K subscribers. And I want to give a big thank you to everybody who came up to me this weekend and said hi, got me to sign something, took a picture with me. Had a lot of fans come up to me this time around. I really like Atlanta. It's one of my favorite places in the world. There's just a lot of stuff I really like from Atlanta, like the culture, the rap, like all that stuff. There's so much stuff I like in Atlanta. So I had a really good time this weekend. I spent 6 days down there just chilling with my friends. I hung out with Linty and her boyfriend, Dylan. Chilled there for a bit and got to do some pretty fun sightseeing and stuff during my trip. But yeah, so as you can see, I did play a Goldengo to this tournament. Obviously, you know, all I do is play Golden Go, man. I don't know, I can't help it. But it's actually a good play for this tournament, mainly because no one really knew what the best like decks were or the best list for each deck, other than maybe Dragapult and Gardevoir. Nobody really had like the perfect 60. So I was like pretty confident in this Goldengo deck. So I want to give a big shout out to Yella Van Kempen once again helping me with the idea behind the Sarah Ledge. Yes, I played Sarah Ledge in my Goldengo deck this weekend. So I played it to my locals the Friday before and actually won the tournament with the deck, which is why I didn't show the list. I didn't want to reveal what I was playing to Atlanta. I didn't want to show the sauce. Like I didn't want to, because it's actually kind of important. The Sarah Ledge makes a big difference in this deck. I didn't want to reveal the secret with this deck, so that's why I didn't share the list. But I did win locals with this deck. Just kind of a little like a test practice run to see how it played. I actually really liked it. I thought it played pretty well. Then I made some adjustments as the week went on in testing and in practice, and I really enjoyed the deck and what I came up with here. I thought was probably optimal for what this deck is trying to do. So the reason why I played Sarah Ledge and Golden Go, mainly because the idea is you have a lot of features with the Sarah Ledge. You get a backup attacker, which is nice. You know, it's like when you're playing Goldengo with Palkia or Dragapult, you get that backup attacker. 2, it can attack Cornerstone Ogre Pawn. That's one of the things Goldengo has to suffer against is it's pretty awkward into Cornerstone. Yeah, you can play the Baby Dango and the Dunsparce or the Dragapults and stuff or the Scizors. But usually, like against a Tropicos player, especially, like they can just kind of knock out for boss and stuff. Like it gets tricky. But Sarah Ledge is really good because you just make it rain, and then Sarah Ledge can be a really good way to finish off a game. This deck plays 12 energy in total, so I think you're doing 230 max with the Sarah Ledge, and that's usually enough. Like, a lot of games kind of come down to, like, can you boss something on the bench, knock it out? You know, Goldengo can lose to Iono. Without Pokestop and Ninja anymore, it's, like, a lot harder to sometimes win games off of, like, a random Iono to 2 or 1. That's why I like having it at the Sarah Ledge, because it just means you just have to close the game out, usually with a boss or just a single energy attachment, other than having to find, like, double retrieval, which is sometimes hard to do, like I said, when you get Iono'd. The other inclusion was the Rev of Room. This was my own inclusion. The Sarah Ledge was Yella's idea, but the Rev of Room was what I really enjoyed. Now, Rev of Room is kind of awkward. It's a metal Pokemon with a true retreat cost, resistant to grass, so it can get stuck in the active by Budew. And I'm not going to lie, you know, if you're playing against Dragapult or Gardevoir, you're probably not trying to bench the Rev of Room anyways because it is such a liability to counter catch your Budew. But literally every other matchup where your opponent does not have a Budew in their deck, which I know is kind of rare nowadays, apparently, but every other matchup where your opponent won't play a Budew, you can put the Rev of Room in play, and it's a great draw engine. It can discard energy for you, so it can synergize nicely with Superior Retrieval. It works really well with Sarah Ledge, because you can also discard energy, and it's a pretty good draw card. I liked it more than the Dunsparce, because one, it freed up deck space, meaning that I got to play the Sarah Ledge in the deck, and the Revavroom, instead of having the Duduns, which the problems with the Duduns and stuff is that they have to go back into the deck, so you have to like then refine the Dunsparce. Like, I didn't really like it in testing. Also, the Dunsparce CX doesn't do a lot of damage against Tropicos unless they somehow start a two-prizer that's not Cornerstone. Usually you're hitting for 60, and you have to then use Monkey Dory and stuff like that to like get more damage on the Cornerstone. I just wasn't a big fan of that. I thought a lot of the Tropicos players were going to be prepared for the Dunsparce and stuff. So I really like the package of Ceruledge Revavroom. Felt very good when you had all that onboard draw with the Vroom. It reminded me a lot of the Bibarel, basically, within the Golden Go deck. And then, of course, Fez Monkey still in the deck. The usual Pokemon. Yeah, nothing really else to write about for the Pokemon. I mean, everything checked out. There was a point in time where I talked about a Brute Bonnet in the deck with an Ancient Booster Capsule, but honestly, Pikachu EX kind of flopped this weekend anyway, so who cares? I'm glad I didn't really tech for it. The other part of the deck that I should mention is actually the Briar. So the reason why the Ceruledge in the deck, not only, once again, attack Cornerstone, gives you an extra attacker to work with, it also is really good with Briar. You can win a lot of games by just randomly going Briar for game. I actually won a game against one of the players that I hit in the tournament, and this is a bit of a funny one, where I did Briar them because I forgot about it. But if, yeah, you can catch your opponent lacking, you can sometimes Briar for game. In the mirror match specifically, instead of using Baby Goldengo, you can go, you can actually put the first EX into play, take a knockout on a one prizer with Goldengo EX. They go Goldengo EX, kill your Goldengo, you go Goldengo again, and then you knock out their Goldengo, and then the final attack is just Ceruledge Briar for game. So in the mirror, you can just go 1, 2, 3 for the prize map. And that's basically what the Briar does within the deck. I'll talk about more in my run and why the Briar, when it came up and stuff, or if I would make any change to the list during my run. Other than that, I thought the 60 was perfect. I really liked the supporter count. My original build was I was trying out Morty's Conviction in the deck and Iris's Fighting Spirit, just like extra like draw supporters other than just a supporter that can get you an item or something like Cypher or Arvin. And I didn't mind the Morty and the Iris. I ended up cutting them. I just threw in a third Cypher. Three Cypher felt insane, by the way. I'm so glad I did that. Like, there were so many games where like I was like, oh, I got a Cypher in hand. I'm chilling. Yeah, Cypher. 3 Cypher is optimal. No, there's no way you can't play 3 because I originally had 2. But that's really stupid. Why would I ever play 2? My original build, I think, was like double Pokegear, 2 Cypher. Double Gear felt really good, by the way. I kind of still want to play more Pokegears. But the Pokegear is really nice. I play 1 copy there. And then I guess like the one thing to note is like maybe the 1 Ultra Ball. A lot of us play 2. This is a deck that definitely probably wants to play 2 Ultra Ball. There's nothing I could figure out what I wanted to even remove for the Ultra Ball. I was like, can we go down to 11 energy? But then Ceruledge does less damage, and then you have less energy for Revavroom. The more energy in the deck, the better your Revavroom is. Also, you need 12, in my opinion, for the Budu format. And honestly, you might need 13, 14 now because of the Luxurious Cape and stuff. But yeah, 3 Nest Ball felt better than 2-2 split of the ball cards because 3 Nest Ball was super important. Yeah, it just, I don't know, like, I tried 2 Nest Ball, and immediately after I tried double Nest Ball, my starts were very lackluster, where I wasn't getting enough basics down. Because again, at the end of the day, you are playing a Buddy Poffin Simulator deck. So that's why I like the triple Nest Ball in the deck. Yeah, just no way you can't not play that. Another like final tech card is actually the Rocky Helmet. If you can notice the Rocky Helmet right there. My original build played Eventual Punch because I was teching for Pikachu. Rocky Helmet was a lot better though, because I found out that Rocky Helmet is really good against Budu specifically. So if you're not going to use it against Pikachu, you can slap it on your Goldengo, and then against Budu, if they're not going to counter catch you, they have to make a decision whether or not they want to Itchy Pollen you or not, which is really good. And the downside with Rocky Helmet, though, is that attaching it early against Dragapult isn't ideal sometimes, because like I'd rather be TM evoing up Goldengos anyways. Like against Dragapult or Gardevoir, my objective is just get Goldengos and play as fast as possible. But the Rocky Helmet can be very annoying, and then a Jamming Tower because I feel you have to play this card. It's like otherwise you can't beat Gardevoir as easily, and Tropicos becomes even harder to beat too, which is already a decent matchup with the Ceruledge. Because against like what I found against the Tropicos matchup is you just put the Charcadet in play. The Tropicos player like immediately has to like play differently. They can't just play their usual game plan of like put a Cornerstone down and maybe they'll use Fan Rotom and chase your Charcadet. Usually I try to look to TM Evo the Ceruledge out as soon as possible so that the Charcadet can't die to Boss Rotom. But knowing that the Tropicos deck plays 2 Boss's Orders, it's kind of easy to just go, bench Charcadet, they go Boss, you go Night Stretcher, Charcadet, they go Boss again, and then they're out of Boss, unless they're playing Prime or Counter Catcher. But usually you're not going to give them access to that. A lot of the time, they have to put Fez or Tropicos in play in order to deal with the Ceruledge. And at that point, your prize map should be pretty easy, where you can go 2-2-2. Powering up Fez and Dippity is really good in that matchup too, I found, because you can Feather Arrow their Noctowls if their board is like big enough. Like there's a lot of really interesting things in that matchup. But yeah, the Sarah Ledge felt really, really good. And like I said, I won a lot of games in testing with this deck in practice at that tournament I won, and also in this tournament itself, where I was like, hey, I just need a boss and a fire to win the game. Oh, look at that. Pheasantipity flipped 3 cards. I drew a boss. I drew a retrieval for fire, boss, KO your Fez for game, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, the only other card I kind of want to play in the deck now is probably just a baby Goldengo, which I'll talk about in my tournament run. So, yeah, as you can see, this is my tournament run. Played out all 9 rounds. Again, did not make day 2. I'm a little disappointed about that because I felt really confident in this deck. I felt like I actually had one of the better Goldengo decks in the room. Just I was not able to get there because of my own play, and then also because of some unfortunate situations in a mirror match. But as you can see, I hit Brent Tonneson, Isaiah Bradner, and Rahul ready in the tournament. Yes, I hit 3 of the best players in the world. I had an insane tournament run where I went through the gauntlet of top players. It's my first time playing against all 3 of them, which was really cool. So, I mean, I had a good time against all of them. And shout out to Rahul. You know, he's a good buddy of mine. I hung out with Rahul like a couple nights before the tournament and stuff. So, yeah, big shout out to Rahul. We'll talk about my tournament run here as we go along. All right, so round 1 was against Keith, and Keith was playing Frostlass. Now, I'm not going to lie, as soon as I saw it was Frostlass, I was like, oh, come on. This matchup is not good, man. Your entire deck is abilities. The only advantage you have is Monkey Dory, but even then, like, if they put, like, 3 Frostlass in play, like, you're cooked, man. They're going to de-evolve all your Dengos. It's a bad matchup. Thankfully, game 1, he kind of just ran out of steam in the mid to late game, and I was able to take a 2-prize turn with Turo double Monkey Dory, and then game 2, he unfair stamped, his ace spec is unfair stamped, he unfair stamped himself into a dead hand, and he unfair stamped me into a Cypher Maniac. Shout out to 3 Cypher Maniac, by the way. Good thing I didn't play 2, jeez. Because there's a lot of situations where my opponent would unfair stamp me, and I drew into a Cypher. Yeah, he just bricked off his own unfair stamp, and he just couldn't establish anything in time, and I was able to just kind of take a huge lead. But that's a scary matchup, man. Like, if he didn't really brick that second game, like, this easily could have been an L, because, like, this matchup is terrifying. Devo triple Frostlass is not great, and he had Blood Moon in the deck, too. It was just, like, a very simple version of the deck. I don't know if he ran the Maractus or not. I never got to see that. Round 2, I ended up hitting Brent Tonneson. So, yeah, I remember looking at the pairings. I'm like, oh my god, I hit Brent Tonneson? Jeez, it's only the second round of the tournament. So I hit Brent, obviously, you know, arguably the best player in the game right now, maybe besides Hedrick or Henry Chow. Brent was playing Gardevoir. He was playing Gardevoir with Cleffa. There's no Zorak in the deck, just like the Cleffa. He had a Cleffa in the deck, which was like the big, like, I guess, like, secret tech card. I guess it's not even a secret tech card, but it was like Secret Box Gardevoir with a Cleffa. Game 1 I won because he just couldn't really get a Gardevoir out in time before I kind of took a big lead on him. Game 2, I think I had like a really good opening hand, and he went turn 2 Iono, and I bricked for like 2-3 turns. And then game 3 was kind of interesting. So it was like very back and forth, but he misplayed because he walked into Briar, and then that won me the game. And I think I apologize if Brent is watching this. I apologize. I think I BM'd him. I countercatcher Briared his Fez. I think I just had game on active. I didn't need to play the countercatcher. I kind of felt bad. After I realized, I'm like, ooh. I was like overcooking. Like in my head, I'm like, because like one of the big plays with the Sarah Ledge is Briar countercatcher Fez. Usually that's a play that you go for. So I just went for that play, but I think I had game on the active anyways. Like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, Brent was a little upset that he did, you know, not realize I had the Briar. Thankfully, the Brent was able to still make day 2 and stuff. So he still had a decent run regardless. And then at round 3, I hit Serena. They were playing at the Terapagos Cornerstone Ogre Pawn deck. Their ace spec was Prime Catcher, which was actually really interesting because I heard that a lot of the Terapagos decks were pivoting to Unfair Stamp this weekend over the Scoop Up Cyclone, which they're known to play. But I also expected Prime Catcher as another ace spec that they might play because I saw some of the lists in the online tournaments were playing Prime Catcher. So game 1, they didn't reveal the Prime Catcher until like the final turn that they had, which was really important actually, because it would have made me, because I didn't know their ace spec. I thought, oh, their Unfair Stamp is prized or Scoop Up is prized, though I guess like in that game they wouldn't really use the Scoop Up anyways. But I didn't know they were playing Prime until the final turn of the game. I did win game 1 because the Sarah Ledge, once again, it does make the Tropicals player have to kind of commit like to an overbend situation, and at that point you don't even have to KO the Cornerstone. You can just kind of go around it, because they went Cornerstone immediately, like knowing they're against Golden Go. And then I got the Sarah Ledge out and the Charcadet, and it kind of just threw off their map, and then they had to start benching 2 prizers to deal with the Sarah Ledge, because if I got the Sarah Ledge going quick enough with Make It Rain and Energy Search Pro, then the Sarah Ledge is just blowing up the Cornerstone Ogre Pond. So they had to play a bit differently. And then game 2, they just didn't go for the Cornerstone. I think they just immediately just tried to play aggressive. They want double Bouffalant. They tried to make like a beefy Terapagos. I did have a turn where I whiffed a knockout, but I just hit the Terapagos, and they didn't have enough resources to go Monkey Dory, and this allowed me to go Jamming Tower for the knockout on the Terapagos, and the game came down, I think, to a boss at the end, because I went down to odd pricing. Usually when you play Golden Go, you got to be a little mindful of going down to 1 prize, because you can get Iono to 1, which is a lot worse than getting Iono to 2. And then round 4, we hit Isaiah Bradner, so I hit Brent, and then I hit Isaiah, so that's crazy. Isaiah was playing that Zoark deck that Henry Chow won the tournament. I think my next YouTube video is going to be titled, Isaiah Bradner destroyed me at Atlanta Regionals with the first place deck. So yeah, Isaiah was playing that Zoark deck. I didn't expect... I thought Isaiah was going to be playing Dragapult, because I saw that John Ang was playing Dragapult. So I was like, oh, surely Isaiah's just playing Dragapult. Like, this matchup's fine. But it was actually Gardevoir with Zoark. I didn't know what was going on in his list. I think he ran double Turo, which caught me off guard at the end of the game. He 2-0'd me. Game 1, just kind of, it was very back and forth. And then game 2, I think I might have, well, actually, maybe I could have maybe won game 1 if I was on 1 prize, because he had to go into the Rocky Helmet in order to knock me out, but I was on 2 prizes, so it didn't matter. And then game 2, I played really sloppily at the end. I put a Dark Energy on my Rev of Room. Basically, I put an Energy on Rev of Room preemptively to hope he didn't trap it, because I knew the game was going to come down to like an Iono or something, probably. But I misplayed. I put Dark on it when I shouldn't have. I had the ability not to put the Dark on the Rev of Room, and I attached Dark for some reason. And it ended up costing me, because I had the ability to use Monkey Dory, which would have been a lot better. So I kind of just threw in the end there. And time got called, and he was able to Budew trap me, unfortunately. And the Budew, I couldn't get out of the Budew lock, and I couldn't take prizes to go to a game 3 and effectively tie the set. Round 5, I hit my friend Jalen, who I was hanging out with the night before the tournament, which was kind of funny. I'm hitting everyone, dude. It's crazy. So Jalen was playing the Archaludon double deck. I knew he was playing the Archaludon double deck. He had double Black Belt, and Palpad, which is like a little scary. And he was playing Rev of Room too. We were having a bit of a Varoom off, which is pretty funny. But yeah, again, it's not a favorite matchup for him. Like, effectively, if he's never able to find the Black Belt turn after turn, it's just really easy for me to just 2-2-2 him, and that is what happened. Like, game 1, he prized a Black Belt, and then game 2, he just kind of, I think he bricked near, like, the middle of the game, and, you know, was able... I came down once again to, like, Iono to 1. I think I won game 2 by going Boss Sarah Ledge for game, because I was out of energy retrievals. Both times I had to blow up his Archaludon. I had to burn a retrieval to do so. I had to go E-Search Pro and retrieval, so I didn't have enough resources to effectively blow up 3 Archaludons. But because I have the Sarah Ledge in the deck, and I was on 1 prize, instead of having to blow up an Archaludon with 1 retrieval, which I couldn't do, I just went Boss Sarah Ledge for game instead. And then round number 6, once again, hit another top player. We hit Rahul, my boy Rahul. Shout out to Rahul. I think he might have uploaded his tournament report by now. I haven't checked yet. Let's drop my pop on my desk here. I haven't checked yet if he's uploaded. But anyways, yep. Rahul, of course, was playing the Dragapult deck with... He was playing the Andrew Hedrick deck. And this was a bit of a disappointing loss, because I think I could have won game 3. So game 1, I did win. I caught him out. He tried to go for like the late game Budew Luxurious Cape lock on me, and then my counter played at that. I went Jamming Tower, and that like won me the game. So game 2, I basically just bricked. He Budewed me, and I couldn't play the game because Budew. And then game 3 was very back and forth. It got really close, but I probably would have won the game had I not misplayed. This is like where my play started to decline a little bit, and then maybe because, you know, it was late in the day. I was on 2 hours of sleep, which I was actually playing pretty well, or at least I was like fairly like not tired throughout the most of the tournament. But my quality of play did decline a little bit in game 3 against Rahul. I bench locked myself for some reason. I don't know why I did that. I got a little ahead of myself, so I bench locked myself for not being able to put a Monkey Dory in play, which was a big mistake. If that Monkey Dory was in play, that probably would have won me the game. And then also so the game eventually did come down to an Iono to 1, and my board was Goldango, and I think that was it. There might have been a Fez. No, there was no Fez. My board was like 2 Goldengos and a Charcadet or something. And so I had a Goldango in the active. I had 1 Goldango with 6 damage on it with a Metal Energy on it. And then I had another Goldango on the bench with no energy on it and no damage on it. So I promoted the Goldengo with the energy because I had Pokegear. He Iono me to 2. We Iono me to 1, and I had Pokegear Ultra Ball in hand. No, yeah, Iono me to 2, and I had Pokegear Ultra Ball. And my top deck wasn't very good because I couldn't shuffle the deck. So the handy Ionoed away was like really good. I had a lot of supporters in there that would have won me the game. So I couldn't shuffle my deck, but I think there was still a supporter that I could have drawn near the top. So I played the Pokegear, no Cypher, no Arvin, no Boss. Because I promoted the reason I promoted the Goldengo with the 6 damage on it was because I thought I could get Boss for game on because I was on 1 prize. But I didn't draw. No, I was on 2 prizes. No, I was on one. I can't remember. But either way, like, I promoted the wrong Goldengo. I promoted the one with the 6 damage on it and the energy because I thought I might need the energy to close out the game. But I didn't. Yeah, I was on 1 prize. Yeah. Now I remember. I was on 1 prize. Okay. Anyways, the point is, I promoted the wrong Goldengo because I promoted the one with 6 damage on it. And I Pokegeared into Iono. So I was like, okay, that... My only counterplay now... I coin bonus the bench for 1. Pokegeared into Iono because I needed the active in case I got a Cypher. So I didn't get it. So I just went, okay, Iono, coin bonus. I think I coin bonus before the Iono because then my deck was shuffled. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can draw an Arvin. But I didn't. So then I'm like, okay, Iono to 1. That's game. Like, there's nothing I can draw off the Iono to win me the game, I don't think. But I Ionoed him, and I had just passed because the card I drew into was like a metal energy. I was like, that's game. So I think if I promoted the Goldengo with no damage on it, I would have bought myself an extra turn, which could have won me the game. So I threw twice against Rahul, benchlocked myself like a dummy. I don't know why I did that. I just lost my mind. And then also promoting the wrong Goldengo. But like in my head, I thought I wanted the Goldengo in the active with the energy on it because it would have gave me the option of boss for game. But I should have promoted the Goldengo with no energy because I should have known Pokegear was going to get me Iono because it was near the top of the deck because I couldn't shuffle the deck. So I should have promoted the Goldengo with no energy on it and no damage on it, even though if I couldn't attack that turn, I could Iono Rahul and prevent him from winning the game because he had no way. I don't think if I did the Iono, I don't think he had a way to take the game the following turn. So I would have bought me 1 more extra turn, and that maybe could have made a difference. Because my win con, I think, was I had to go Monkey Dory for a game on his bench Budu, or I had to do, Kaboom on the active with energy retrieval. I don't know. Rahul can tell me, I'm sure he's going to watch this video in the comments below. Could I have won the game if I went Iono to 1 with the undamaged Goldengo? I'm interested to hear that. So I was X2, so I had to win out effectively, or win 2 and tie. So next round I hit a Gardevoir, which was interesting. I think I won game 1. I won game 1 by taking the 3 prize turn with the Jamming Tower, KO Gardevoir. Game 2, he won because he set up a really good board where he had 3 Monkey Dories, so he was able to one-shot Goldengo with Gardevoir with triple Monkey. Couldn't really do anything about that. Game 2 came down to time, and he announced attack. But then he went to play a Night Stretcher, and the judge that was watching the game, because we went to time, was like, no, you've already announced your attack. You have to commit to it. Because he said Gardevoir's he had Gardevoir in the active. He said Miracle Force. He was trying to go for the tie because he had the ability to like counter catcher, trap me, and tie me. And this is what he was trying to do that turn. But he announced attack. I didn't say anything. He just announced the attack, and then the judge was like, no, you can't do that. You can't play the Night Stretcher. You already announced your attack. So I kind of felt a little bad, but it is what it is. Because I had game in hand. Because he had to leave the Gardevoir in the active. And I was on 2 prizes. The next round, I hit another Atlanta local, Sammy here. They were playing at Goldengo. I knew their list, because I saw it the night before at Jalen's. They were playing at Goldengo with the Dunsparce, and they had Rocky Helmet. That's where I got the Rocky Helmet idea, by the way, was from, like, the Atlanta locals who were, like, talking about it. I'm like, oh, that seems good. Because I originally was going to play Rocky Helmet in the deck also, because I'm like, well, Rocky Helmet could be good because I could put it on my Rev of Room. So against Budu, if you want to Itchy Paw and Trap Rev of Room, it's not going to work because there's Rocky Helmet on it. But I was like, no, Vengeful Punch probably just better. I'm going to get more value out of that. And then there's, like, Rocky Helmet's just better in Goldengo. I'm like, yeah, that makes more sense, actually. You could just use it in general. Because my thought process was Rocky Helmet on Rev of Room makes it awkward for the Budu player to just go counter catcher Itchy Paw and trap my Rev of Room. So that was the logic. But either way, I knew he had Baby Goldengo, which is not great for this deck. And I'm not going to lie, maybe should have thought ahead about Baby Goldengo for my archetype here. So ideally, in the matchup, you take the first knockout with Goldengo EX, like I said, and then you go 1, 2, 3 for game. You can't do that if they go Baby Goldengo. The only way you can win is 1, if they have abysmal draws or they prize Esearch Pro, or 2, if they go Baby Goldengo but they get greedy and they leave only 1 Gimme Ghoul on their bench. So if their board is like Goldengo, Gimme Ghoul, or like Dunsparce, whatever, as long as there's only 1 Gimme in play after they evolve into Baby Goldengo for the first prize KO, you go counter catcher knockout their Gimme Ghoul, and then they have no way to take a prize, and then that effectively should win you the game. The problem is, I won game 1 because he bricked, and then game 2, he just was able to set up that board state where his board was Baby Goldango, turn 2 every time, with 2 Gimme Ghouls in the bench. There's nothing I can do about that, because I go after the Gimme Ghoul, which is the logically smart thing to do, but he just can chain it because he just draws a gajillion cards. So yeah, Baby Goldango is kind of a BS card. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset about that loss because I was like, oh my god, I could have. Because I actually, you know what's funny? The night before the tournament, I was up. The reason I only got to sleep is because I was heavily considering playing the Baby Goldango. I was considering cutting the Briar for the Goldango, but I was so committed to the Briar idea already that I just wanted to keep it. But for a little while the night before, I wanted to play the Baby Goldango in the deck, and ended up with the Baby Goldango's, the stupid mirror one prize board state crap is what lost me the game and got me out of day 2 contention. So it kind of feels bad, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I think honestly going forward with my deck specifically, debatably, you cut the Briar for the Baby Goldango. Now, you could also cut the Sarah Ledge altogether, but I'm still like, Sarah Ledge was really good. Sarah Ledge and Baby Goldango would also make the deck better against Cornerstone anyways, so it just gives you an easier time to match up. Maybe you prize a Sarah Ledge, right? You prize Charcadet. Prize Sarah Ledge. It's a little bit awkward, so Baby Goldango, I think, should still go into this deck. So honestly, the Briar for the Baby Goldango might be the best way to go forward. I only Briared once the entire tournament. It was against Brent, but Brent could have played around it, obviously, had he known I had Briar or realized it, right? But yeah, Briar is definitely cuttable. Yeah, I think cutting the Briar for the Baby Goldango is just the way to go. And this deck actually feels really broken. So unfortunate that I lost that. Again, Baby Goldango, the Goldango mirror match, a lot of people say the Dragapult mirror match is kind of bad. No, the Goldango mirror match is absolute dog water. It is one of the stupidest mirror matches ever. It's literally just whoever Baby Goldangos you first. It's so stupid. It's whatever. Anyways, congrats to Sammy, though, on the good finish. He's still a homie, so I was happy to see him do well. And then also, my last round, I played out 6-3. I knew I had insane resistance because I continuously saw that Rahul, Bradner, and Brent were doing good. So I'm like, okay, my resistance is cracked. I have to play this one out. So if my opponent offered to ID, because people around me were offering the ID because they were guaranteed some CP, I'm like, if my opponent did that, I'm like, nope, we're playing it out. Sorry, I have insane resistance. My resistance was so good that I was the second highest person that didn't make day 2. So my resistance was nuts. So I had to play the last round. My opponent didn't offer the ID or anything. We just ended up playing it out anyways. They were playing Dragapult, Dusknoir, really chill opponent. Game 1, so game 1 he kept bricking, which was hilarious. Or not bricking, he kept mulliganing. I think he had like 4 or 5 mulligans game 1, which was insane. And then game 1 I did win. He was playing Sparkling Crystal Dragapult, also for more context, which is an even easier matchup than the Unfair Stamp build, because the Sparkling Crystal they play aggressive, but they don't just go Stamp as soon as you kill their Budu, which is really good. They go Dragapult, I just go E-Search Pro, blow up the active, and then, their deck can't really do as much. They have to go back to, like, Budu trap stuff. But, anyways, game 1 I did win. Game 2, classic Budu deny me from playing Poff and Brick. Game 3, I did win. It did get pretty close. Once again, game 3, he mulliganed like 4 times. Bro's deck just didn't want to find a basic. It was crazy. But I did end up winning game 3. Forget exactly what happened, but I did win game 3. I forget. It was super close, though. There was like a point, I think, I prized my E-Search Pro, but he went Dusknoir. He Dusknoired me the one turn, and then I also went Monkey Dory, and those 2 prizes, one of them was E-Search Pro, which was good. So I was able to win the game, and then went 6-3. Once again, I felt good about the list. Realistically, my one loss to, I guess, losing. Okay, so I did misplay pretty badly against Rahul. Probably could have won that if I didn't misplay. Bradner, I mean, looking back, I don't know if I really could have done anything against Bradner because I didn't know what was going on in his list and stuff. I maybe could have played a little better. I think attaching energy to Rev Room was kind of a dumb play that probably looking back maybe could have gave me a better chance to win the game, and whatever. And then my other loss, just literally Baby Goldango is just a stupid card. Great mirror match, right? So, it is what it is. I'm still very confident in this deck. The deck felt really good. Honestly, I had, every game was, pretty solid. I don't really think... The only games I was really bricking in were literally just games where my opponent would Budu me, and I didn't get, a turn 1 Poffin or Nest Ball. Those were the only games I was bricking. The deck felt really solid and really clean this weekend. So, honestly, if Atlanta happened again, I would run the deck back. Once again, probably cut the Briar for the Baby Goldango. You could also cut the Rev of Room. The Rev of Room is really good, though. Again, in a matchup where you need to, keep up in the prize race, it's actually really important to have that onboard draw with Rev of Room. So I really like the Rev of Room in the deck still. I could even see 13 energy in this deck. Not gonna lie, I'm being serious. 13 energy might be pretty good in Golden Go 2. I could even see, double Turo in the deck. Like, yeah, Double Throw also seems good because, like, Counter Catch Your Buddy was a really, really strong combo that seems good right now. So, yeah, definitely some things you could tweak about the list, but I did like the core 60, and the deck felt amazing this weekend. So, thank you all once again for watching today's video tournament report. Like I said, my next upload will probably be on the first place list from Atlanta because I did play against it, and I have a really good YouTube title in mind for that video. So, yeah, cool stuff. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Thank you everyone once again who came up to me this weekend, said hi, got me to sign something, take a picture. Yeah, let me know how your Atlanta tournament went if you were there. I'm actually interested to hear. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Next upload here on the second channel will probably be out very soon, looking at every deck in day 2. A lot of really interesting stuff in day 2, not going to lie. Day 2 is crazy. But yeah, I had a really insane tournament run. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.